Welcome wherever you're joining from. My name is Edith again, and we're here to talk about how to get high ticket clients and build your predictable pipeline as an IT consultant. If you're here, you might be thinking some of these things. And as I went through building my business, these were things that constantly came to mind and that I wanted to change. I keep waiting on recruiters for my next contract, and it feels like I have no control. That was me through and through. When I started consulting a few years ago, it was just like they own every part of my life. Sometimes they communicated with me, sometimes they just ghosted me. And I just felt like, why did I leave my corporate job to become a consultant where people are not responding to me, where every work that I want, I have to reapply. Even though I am great at what I do, I struggle to sell myself and my services. Yep, that's me. Like I just knew exactly all of the skill sets that I had, all of the tasks. But when it came to really articulating my outcome, the value that I provide organizations, I was just stuck. I didn't know how to do that. I don't know how to translate my experiences into offers. Yes, that was me. Sometimes when it comes to the word offers, we're just like, what does that mean? That's a package of your expertise, the value that you can provide to a customer. Quite often in our field, we've been trained by service by the hour. And I want to just switch that in your mind that we provide services based on value, and that value is tied to an offer, not per hour. Most of the leads I get are either not qualified or cannot afford my rate. Yep, that was me. When I have a lead attention, I don't know how to close the deal. For sure. That was me. I didn't really understand what sales was, but the most importantly, I didn't understand how simple sales is to really have that conversation with individuals. And I'm going to teach you guys and show you guys exactly how I go through my sales conversations. I don't want to rely on job postings forever. Amen to that. Because every time there's a job posting in our field, there's like hundreds of people that apply, especially if it's remote or in a contract. Just there's hundreds of applicants that apply, and you're just like, oh my gosh. So, again, as a consultant, I need to constantly apply for jobs. And do you sometimes feel like these job postings are fake? Like nobody ever gets hired. They just constantly post them and then it just stays out there. You see all these hundreds and hundreds of applicants. I want leads to trust me and see me as credible before we even meet. Yep, that is me for sure. It makes the sales conversation much easier when people know you and recognize you. I want to be the first person people think of when they look for a solution I offer. Yep, for sure. I want consistent income without chasing a brand out. Isn't that right? Because when we provide our services based on per hour, we easily get burnt out. And the reality is that I've learned that clients do not care if you give them a per hour rate. If you take 40 hours to do something versus doing it with 20 hours, they don't care. They just want that to be done. So why are we charging per hour still? We can set up our own path and talk to clients directly. So all of this comes down to one thing, not more effort, not more application, but how you position yourself in the marketplace. I am not here to convince you. I am going to share with you a system, strategies, and stories to help you make a decision. The real reason you are here is that you are not getting consistent clients. It is not your skill. It is not the market. It is not your experience. No one taught you how to position yourself as the solution clients are already looking for. And tonight, I'm going to fix that by the magnetic consulting method that I came up with. I teach you tonight, one, how to position yourself. Two, how to package your expertise in an offer. Three, how to attract clients. And number four, how to convert the attention, the attraction that you have into signed contracts. These strategies and frameworks I'm going to share today have been used by consultants across various industries to generate millions of dollars in direct contracts. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. And I want to share with you why you should trust me and listen to me right now. So again, my name is Edith, And I was born in Monrovia, Liberia. I came to the USA at the age of 9, leaving my mom behind. I graduated in 2012 with a degree in psychology and biology, and I was a single mom. And the year that I was united with my mom, that was after 18 years, I also graduated with my bachelor degree. So this is my mom at the airport in Minnesota, and then this is my daughter and I graduating that same day. And my transition to the USA was tough on some occasions. So I worked in tech for 10 years. I launched a few businesses and I got married. In 2012, I made the leap to full-time independent consultant. I expected that as soon as I became a consultant, I would just start working with these leaders directly. But instead, recruiters were in the middle. We're doing the hard work. We have the degree, we have the certification, but yet someone else is taking a high percentage of our rate. So I started asking around, how do these recruiters get to know companies? How are these consulting firms getting leaders to come to them and trust them? So it came in the weirdest situation because as I went to meetups, as I connected with people, people started asking me, what do you do? And that question changed everything. Usually I would just tell people I'm a business analyst and that's my job title. I'm a user experience specialist. Like I didn't really understand how to say what value and what transformation that I brought to people. So when I realized that networking wasn't what I needed to do to get to the next level, posting more wasn't what I needed to do, but understanding my positioning and getting it right. So once I figured that out, something unexpected happened. And this is exactly what I did a few years ago. Before, I was invisible consultant. My title was business analyst. How many of y'all put this on LinkedIn all the time? Like available for work. This is my job title. And this is so generic, guys. It blends you in with tens of thousands of other consultants. Yeah, you may get the attention of recruiters sometimes, but even so, it's difficult. But leaders are just walking past that because they want to know the transformation and the value that you can bring to their organization. So this is what I did. I wrote my new magnetic positioning statement. I said that I specialize in complex legacy system analysis and stakeholder alignment for large-scale technology transition, saving businesses $3.5 million in operational costs. This statement is outcome-based. It allows leaders, IT directors, people that we need to build that relationship with, know exactly what I do, and then they can reach out to me. So this is what happened. I was contacted after a few weeks that they wanted to hire me. And this was a government agency. If any of you guys have ever worked for government agencies, healthcare, banking, they have long processes for procurement. But because I was so clear, they trusted me, and I built that relationship, I bypassed all of that. Positioning not just helped me get the contract, it changed the rules of contracting for me. So the question is whether the right people can see it clearly enough and come to you first. Because we're tired of chasing all of these contracts. We're tired of chasing recruiters. We're tired of chasing our next opportunity. The goal is to set up a systematic pipeline where that you have consistent leads and consistent leaders interacting with you. But I want to say today is not about me. It is about the possibility that you have when you get hold of a strategy before most people in our industry know that it exists. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that without chasing job boards and without chasing recruiters. So let's jump into it. There are 3 ways consultants get clients. The first path is the manual process. Inconsistent, it gets results, but it's unpredictable. We talked about this already. Recruiters, referrals, networking events, subcontracting, applying for roles, these are communicating one-to-one. They're manual conversion. So this is you as the consultant in purple, and you're communicating to one person. It's slow because it depends on your effort. If you cannot go to a meetup, if you cannot get on the phone to talk to a recruiter, you don't have that opportunity. And we don't want to go down that path. The second path is hybrid. Best starting point that I tell my students. This is where you start outreaching and positioning yourself clearly. You start conversations with people. You start being visible to the right individuals. We don't want to be visible to recruiters. We want to be visible to the leaders that pay us directly. You want to leverage your existing network. This is where most of us should focus first. And then the path 3 is the 30 state. And this is where you can scale beyond yourself and beyond what you even imagine. This is where I tell people you start creating intellectual property. And this can be in the form of content, in the form of writing articles, books, so you become the authority in your space. Then inbound leads start coming in. You're known as the thought leader in that space, and then you have a one-to-many system. This is how it looks like when you have a one-to-many system. This is you. You have your intellectual property out here, and multiple people are interacting with it. They're connecting with you. They see you, and then they get to trust you, and they know that you are that person that can provide that solution when they have that problem. But how do you go from unknown consulting to recognized authority so that your ideal clients come to you first? And this is the system we're going through right now, the magnetic consulting method. Step 1, positioning. Let's talk about how we position ourselves. Most IT consultants are invisible, and here's why. This is a famous violinist. His name is Joshua Bell. He was a famous violinist where in 2007, he dressed up casually and went to a subway to play a $3.5 million violin. Most people around him just walked by. They didn't even stop to notice him. He played for 45 minutes. He made about $32. And little did they know that the day before, he sold out in an arena playing his violin. And why do I tell you guys this story? Because most of you are probably like Joshua in the subway right now. You are experts. You're in a different situation, different positioning, right? And that's where it ties back to this invisible old way of writing your positioning. You're invisible to your ideal customers. So I want to help you extract your positioning right now. You can extract your expertise and position it in a way that your ideal customers know that it's you. And here's how it looks like. When you position yourself, you want to make sure that it's clear on your LinkedIn. We all use LinkedIn, but we've been using it as just a job board. And I'll get into that a little more later. But you want to make sure you update your banner, your title to a clear positioning statement. Update your feature section, your about me. And if you have a company page, update that too. And if you don't have a company page, create one. It's free. Put a logo there, put your name. I highly encourage this because it takes your expertise to another level. When you're communicating with leaders, owners of organizations that you provide your expertise with, they want to know that you're the real deal. You're working through your business. When you are positioned correctly, the right clients can finally see you clearly enough to choose you. The second part is that how do you put together your offer? Why do people pay premium? And we're not talking about $100 an hour because some of us been lied to. That's how much our expertise are worth, but it's not true. I want you guys to really dig deep into this because how we put together our offer is the key. It's what connects our positioning to how people see us as a high value consultant. So let's talk about Apple. In 2007, Apple came out with their first iPhone. It was $499. And at that time, you can get a free phone by just signing a 2-year contract with any carrier. But Apple was like, nah, I'm going to make sure you're signed a 2-year contract, but still pay $499. And people lined up for this iPhone to come out. And why did people line up? Because Apple understood that they were not just selling a phone. They were selling an experience, a premium experience. Down to the box that the iPhone came in, you knew it was premium. They packaged it so beautifully that you are confident that you looked at the phone that you paid $499 for, and you're like, man, I could have paid $1,000. In fact, right now, their phone is over $1,000 because that's the goal of packaging your offer. You need to make it so irresistible that your clients feel that, wow, this person is charging me $10,000 to solve this problem that I have in my operation. They're saving me $100,000 or they're helping me gain $100,000. That is the goal when we package our expertise into a premium offer. Let me teach you how to do this. When it comes to packaging your offer, there are 3 levels: information, feedback, and results. And we have pricing on the left and clients on the right. It's key to notice this. As you charge higher rates, you should expect to work with fewer clients because that's what we want. As independent consultants, we want to start by working with few clients, 5 to 10, even less, making 500K a year or more. And as we grow our business and want to have an agency where we bring in other consultants, then we can start offering the information level and feedback level again. So let's walk through it. The first level is information. This is as easy as saying, I'm a business analyst. I can help analyze your backlog to make sure all of your stories are in line, all of those things. You're providing information to them. And here, this is where the recruiters are controlling us because we're just selling our information to them. Even though when we join the organization, we provide high-level results and we provide high-level income, but however, the language in which we present ourselves is information. The next level is feedback. This is where you do a diagnostic or something like that. You do a deep dive research on your ideal customer company. They pay you for it, and then you walk through with the diagnostic feedback. And I'll teach you guys what I mean by diagnostic later, the audit framework that I use. So then you charge a little bit more. And then at the very top, you have the implementation steps. You're implementing this along with your customers. Maybe you're a high-level advisor, a high-level fractional aide where they pay you a monthly retainer that you can have your expertise in their organization and they can rely on you every time they need it. This is the pyramid of how to put together your irresistible offer. Most consultants never get there because we get stuck with positioning ourselves. Once you understand positioning and get that right, the next steps are so much faster. So both working together, then you move from being invisible to valuable. And this is where we get into our next stage, how you attract your ideal customers. We stop chasing them and they are attracted to us. Let's think about a magnet. A magnet doesn't have to go looking for metal, go looking for nails to come to it. It just comes to it because it's just being itself. At the core, it's providing its highest value. And that's exactly where the positioning and the offer connect. Once you have those two together, you become a magnet for your ideal customers. Individuals are coming to you. They know exactly where to find you. Think about your city. And most of us have maybe 50,000 people living in our city. But how many people in your city knows about you, knows about the service that you provide? I want you to wrap your head around that because that's where it leads to you attracting your ideal customers. We need to put ourselves out there in the right environment that our ideal clients are hanging out. And that's where I talk about LinkedIn consistently because we're already so familiar with it and we've been using it as just a job board. LinkedIn has quality users. Let's dive into it a little bit. There are 134 million users that log into LinkedIn every day. 60 million users are decision makers with budget authority. Budget authority means they make decisions on who they want to hire. They control the finances of paying those individuals. 10 million are C-suite executives. And LinkedIn converts 2 times the rate of any other social platform because LinkedIn isn't a social platform. It was created as a networking platform to bring networking to us to make it easy. LinkedIn is the only platform right now where it lets professionals generate massive visibility. You don't have to post multiple times a day, send cold DM, show your face on video, spend money on ads, or even have a website. I talked to you about updating your LinkedIn profile. That can be your website starting off. If you already have a website, cool. Still update LinkedIn because that's where people that hire us are hanging out. They are going there, reaching out to people. It happens to me consistently. So one post on LinkedIn with 4 likes, 200 impressions can land on the feed of a CIO or IT director that need your services. Attract a comment from your ideal customer, get a director to visit your profile, book a call with you, start conversation that leads to six-figure contract. And it does not matter how many followers you have. I am a living proof of it. I think I'm finally at 3,000 followers now. LinkedIn is not just content. It's a client database. It's a positioning platform and it's a visibility engine. Most people use it wrong. We treat it like a social media or a job board instead of a pipeline tool. Back to attracting individuals with your intellectual property. This is one of my posts that I put out there just talking about business analysis. And this post went on and is still marketing for me. Over 13,000 impressions, many engagements, people reaching out. You don't need a huge follower to really get visible out there. And especially if you're discussing high value outcomes that your ideal customers are looking for. Focus your positioning and then you start creating intellectual property around that, things that you already know, and those people will come and find you. Most times as IT consultants, when we hear the word content, we're just like, oh my gosh, you're telling me that I need to post stuff on social media? Yes, guys. But by this proven method, you get in front of your ideal customers. They're coming to you. They're starting conversations to you. They trust you. And we have AI. AI can help you generate so much good information based on your expertise. So this is the visibility volume, this pyramid here. You share your insights about the industry. If you share information by AI, you share in a way that LinkedIn likes it. Then you share in a way how humans consume information. And that's the initial stage of your pipeline. And then stage 3, this is how you convert those individuals into paying clients. And one of my favorite ways of doing this is the diagnostic process. The best salespeople do not sell. They diagnose, they provide an audit, and then they help you make a decision. Let's talk about mechanics. Let's just say you have an issue with your car. They would not just say, all right, transmission, okay, let me go fix that. No, they do an audit for you and you pay for that audit. And they list out everything that could potentially be wrong with your car. Transmission, maybe your tires needs changing in the next 3 months. Like they provide all those detailed audits and diagnostic for you. And then they walk you through it. They're the expert. You are listening intently, hearing what they got to say. And then you get to make the decision what you want to fix. And that's exactly what I do for my consulting business. That's exactly what I teach you guys to do as well. You provide it for them, you walk through it with them, you answer any questions that they may have, and then you help them make the decision that's best for their company and for their budget. You know, the best part is they've already known that you can solve that problem and they came to you. The second part is doing the diagnostic, you are spending time with them. They're providing you information about their business. They're providing you access to different things if you need access to it to provide that audit for them. Make sure you book your next call with them before getting off. Every time you have their attention. And then after you guys meet, then you send an audit to them. That's how you get them on your team and you consistently keep meeting with these busy leaders. Stage 4 of the magnetic consultant, we talked about converting. The goal is not to be a better salesperson. The goal is to provide a great diagnostic that the client sells themselves. Sales become easy. You're not chasing them. They came to you. You provided so much value in your diagnostic that they're just like, this is obvious. I have to work with Edith. So the higher the transaction, the more trust is required. That's why we start with the audit, and then you're building that trust. You're spending time with them. They need to trust you more and more. When you do have your invoice for $50,000 to provide whatever service that you have written out to provide for them, they know that they can trust you. Wouldn't it be great if leads trusted you before they even met you? Yep, for sure, through and through. When you are the authority, you have the permission to charge more for your value. They see you as the expert. That's why we're in such a great position to control our own pipeline, our business, and make the income that we're looking for. 2 to 5 clients and making $500,000 a year. Isn't that great? So everything we just covered points you to one outcome. how to attract top value IT clients directly without chasing job boards, without waiting on recruiters, without any kind of middle guy cutting out every dollar of what you earn because you deserve it. You worked hard for it. Imagine what would happen if you actually took advantage of everything we just talked about. And knowing what to do does not equal knowing how to do it. And that's where it's important to have guidance, to have a community. Without guidance, we're stuck waiting on recruiters who control your income, your calendar, applying to posting and getting ghosted on low ball pricing. You're posting on LinkedIn and not hearing back. You're just like, oh, this doesn't work. You're cutting your rates just to stay in the game. And we take ourselves through all of those mental stress, the back and forth when we don't have to, and never knowing where your next contract is coming from. Yeah, it's so exhausting. But with guidance, decision makers reach out to you with real opportunities. A clear positioning statement that commands premium rate, a repeatable system that generates inbound without spamming anyone. We don't have time. We're busy consultants. We need a system that makes this easy for us. You have confidence to hold your rate because clients see your value, and you have a predictable pipeline that does not depend on anyone else. So at this point, you have two options. Keep doing what you've been doing and keep waiting on recruiters. Keep applying for job posting and keep hoping things change. Or follow a proven system and fix this in the next 30 to 90 days. The difference is not your effort. You are already working hard. The difference is in the system.